Hey, this is Rishi from The Growing Home, thegrowinghome.net. Today we're going to show you how to create a flood and drain system for your nursery items. So as you can see here, we have our nursery laid out here in our backyard on these racks. And what a flood and drain system is basically a system where you flood trays to water your plants. You're just going to flood a tray and let the water soak in there, let the pot soak up all the water, and then you drain it out afterward. Okay, and so basically what I have here, this is, I'm going to show you the setup we have right now, and then we're going to show you how we make it, because we're actually going to make 2 or 3 more of these. So what these are mortar mixing trays, which I just bought from Home Depot. They're about $6 each. And underneath, if you can see, I have some PVC pipes here, which are connecting the trays together. So there's 4 trays connected in this system. Okay, so what happens, and then the other thing I have is I have a tube here which prevents the water from flowing out, and which I can turn down to actually let the water out. So I'm going to show you real quickly how this works. So I just put my hose into the trays wherever, any one of the trays, it doesn't matter. And as I fill up this one tray, the water starts to fill up all the trays at once. Okay, so the gravity is pulling the water out of this tray and into the other trays. And so it takes about 5 minutes for the trays to fill up. I fill them up to about 2 or 3 inches, and then I'll let them soak. I let the water just soak in there for about say 10, 15, 20 minutes. I've even left it for a few hours, and it's totally fine. You just don't want to leave the water too long, because then it might rot, and then that'll cause root rot in your plants. Okay, so whenever you're finished letting the plant soak, then I just have, this is my drain right here, and I'm going to be putting a valve instead of doing this the way that I have it right now. But for right now, all you do is you turn this down. Okay, and that's going to flood that's going to drain all the water out. And then the next time I just do this all over again. And so what we're going to be doing today is setting up the same system on this top rack and on the bottom rack. So what we can do is flood this top rack, drain it into the second rack, soak the second rack, and then flood it into the third rack. So we're going to be using the same water to water all 3 levels of plants. And so yeah, so just keep watching. We're going to show you exactly how to put this whole thing together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start drilling my holes into the bottom of these tubs. And so what I got here is I have a 1-inch spader bit, and you can see I'm going to be using this coupling to actually connect the PVC pipe. So it's a 3/4 inch male threaded on one side, and it's a female 3/4 inch slip on the other. Okay, and so if you can see here, the threaded side and my 1-inch spader bit are about the same size. So when I drill the hole, I will be able to screw this right in. Okay, I'm going to show you that right now. So on my tub, it already has the center pretty much laid out, so I'm going to just go right in there. Okay, you don't want to drill too much because you want it to be as tight as possible, so that when you screw this thing in, we're going to screw in as tightly as possible. Okay, so as you can see here, I just screw this in, and that's pretty much it. I'm actually going to put some Teflon tape around the threads when I actually do it. So I'm going to finish up these, and then we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so I finished drilling all my holes, and now I'm taking my 3/4 inch slip threaded piece, and I'm going to put on the Teflon tape. And whenever you're putting Teflon tape onto something that's threaded, you're going to go against the threading. Okay, so I'm holding, if you're holding the thread upwards, you're going to go to your right, and that's against the thread. And I'll probably just go like 3-4 times around. You can be pretty liberal with this stuff. It's very cheap. I think this roll cost me like 80 cents. And so I'm just going to go a few times around, strip it off, and then screw this right in. And yeah, you do want to try to get a pretty straight screw, so that when you put the PVC pipe in, it's going to be level. Okay, so that's step 2 or 3, I forgot, and I'll show you. So I'm gonna do the rest of these, and then we'll show you the next step. All right, so you can see behind me, we've laid out the trays, how we're gonna have them for the system. So we got 4 on the top, and we only fit 3 on the 4 on the bottom, and we're able to fit 3 on the top. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the pipe that's gonna come down vertically from this connection, and we're gonna cut it probably just about 5 or 6 inches. Okay, so there's no need to be exact here. The only thing is you need to make all the pipes the same size. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the first one. I'll just cut this first one, like, it looks like about 6 inches long to me. Okay, and then I'm gonna use that first pipe as my guide for all my other cuts so that they're all the same length. Okay, and since we have 7 trays out there, I'm gonna make 7 of these cuts. Alright, so as you get, we put the little 6-inch pieces that we cut underneath here. We already stuck them in, and now I'm going to actually add the connection pieces. Okay, so I have on the very end over here, I'm going to put an elbow. Okay, and then the next one is going to be a T. The next one is also going to be a T. Okay, and then after that, that's going to be, there'll be another elbow here. Ooh, wrong pocket. There's going to be another elbow here, which is going to act as the drain. Okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut the PVC according to the space in between all the pieces that we have. So I'm going to measure out between these two T's, and then between this T and this elbow, we're going to cut the PVC and we're going to stick it in there. Alright, so as you can see from underneath here, we finished putting all the pipes together. We got the elbow connected to the T, connected to the T, and then we have our drain out here. The important thing to remember about the drain, if you're doing it this way, is that this pipe needs to be taller than the water level is going to be in your tray. Okay, now the better thing to do actually would be to put a valve on here so that you don't have to turn it like we're doing here, and which is what I'm going to do later. I don't have the valves right now. And then also we have this length kind of hanging out here, so there's a lot of weight on that joint, so I might just tie this pipe up so that it's not going to be so liable to fall out, and that might just be a good idea for the entire length of the pipe too, so it's not going to fall from the weight of the water. Okay, and then now we're going to do the bottom one, and we'll show you the whole system once we're totally done. Alright, so we finished setting up the bottom trays, we finished setting up the top trays, and just to show you again how this works, just got my hose. I'm going to put it on the soaker setting, and I'm just going to leave it in here, and you'll see that as this tray fills up, the rest of the trays are going to start filling up with water also. Okay, the great thing about this system is that we are watering from the bottom instead of the top. So that means especially when we're starting new seeds, new seedlings, we're not going to be damaging. There's no risk of us damaging the plant by watering it from the top. If we water it from the top, we hit it too hard, and it's a young seedling, you'll snap the neck of it basically. So we don't have any chance of that happening. The other great thing about this is that we can use any size pots in this system, and I can do a 1 quart pot with a 1 gallon pot with a 3 gallon pot, and they'll all work. And as you see here, although we're filling in this tray with the hose, you see the water coming in over here, and you see it coming in the other trays as well. You can look over here, you can actually see there that the water is filling up through the pipe that we put in. Okay, so we're gonna let it run for, just until it fills up about 2 or 3 inches, and then we'll turn the hose off, let it sit in there for 20, 30 minutes, maybe even an hour, and then we'll drain it out through the drain. And I'll do an updated video once we have the whole system plugged together so that we're just recycling the same water through all 3 with valves. So look out for that. And then as always, come for a tour. You can see this kind of stuff and see all the different things that we're doing in person. It's a really educational tour, great for family, kids, schools, Boy Scout groups. So yeah, please come for the tour. And then the potluck is every first Thursday of the month from 6 to 10 p.m. We always have a guest speaker coming in for those. Thank you for watching. Stop consuming, start producing. This is The Growing Home.